Hi friends, Valerie Turner with Close to My Heart, and here we are on to card number 3. Here we are going to do some more dry embossing, use some of the techniques that we've learned in our previous 2 cards, as well as add some liquid glass to card number 3. Let's get started. Let's take a look at card number 3. This card, per the workshop directions, super cute. And here with the creative design makeover, look at the liquid glass on that wood heart. So fun. The dry embossing and the flowered paper down here at the bottom. I love these spring and cherry colors. I am so ready for warm weather. So let's get started. There's lots of little techniques here in this one, and I'm excited to show you. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to use our liquid glass to put liquid glass on the wooden heart so that we can set it aside to dry. And I'm just going to find a little piece of paper here that I can set it on. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and put our liquid glass here. Okay. And don't forget, you can do more than one layer if you want, but I just did one layer. Okay. And you know, it looks cloudy now to start, but it will dry clear. And if you happen to get a little too much up in the top there and it's getting down in your heart there, I just took a little embossing stylus or my piercing tool and just made the little shape of the heart in there again and cleaned out whatever I needed to. Just make sure that you clean your embossing stylus or your piercing tool so you don't leave liquid glass on it. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside to dry. And remember, we're going to clean the tip of our liquid glass and tap it down so that it doesn't get clogged. Put our lid on and set it aside. The next thing that we're going to do is our dry embossing on our wisteria piece here. So you should have already have cut per your directions, right? You've already did your die cut here, and washi tape is your friend no matter what kind of embossing machine you are using. I love the Close to My Heart one, but no matter which one you're using, you'll want to use washi tape to hold that so that you have your right measurements in there. Okay, and I'll be honest, I just eyed mine. I just did it on an angle. I wasn't so fussy about measuring, but you can. Your measurements are there. You want it 4 on this side and 5 1/8 on this side. Okay, so that is the next thing that once you should have all your pieces cut. So the next thing that we're going to do is the dry embossing, as I showed you in the previous video. So here, and I matched my embossing. Hopefully you can see that okay on the camera. I matched my embossing with the little scallops. So I think it was a 1/2 inch that I did that matched each of the scallops. So you can see it just goes to where each scallop starts, okay? So you can go ahead and do that now. If you need to pause the video, you can, and I will show you here. And it doesn't matter what increments you do them in. Look at this one. I think this one was 1/8 of an inch all the way across the whole thing, right? Okay, and then this one again is the same as that with the 1/2 inch. And you want to make sure that you choose, well, for this, when you're doing your die cutting, you want to make sure you have your right side of your paper, right? Which side you want up. So here I have the light side up. So that means that, and I wanted my raised with my embossing on the light side. So when you put it in your cutter or your scoreboard or whatever you're using, you'll want to do it on the dark side, right? So that when you flip it over, it's this way, okay? All right, so once you have those things done, we can go ahead and start assembling our card. Let me grab a card base. Okay. And this card has a border around it, so you'll want to keep that in mind. I got my card base now. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and stamp on this piece here, because we want to stamp before we glue it down, otherwise we'll have the embossing lines under there causing us some trouble in our stamping. So I'm looking for my little foam tool, my foam sheet right here. Okay, and we are going to use the Wisteria ink. And again, in the directions, it tells you to use the Wisteria ink and your water brush. I used the Wisteria ink and the shimmer brush because it just added a little extra shimmer. If you can add shimmer, why not, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Move my little pieces up here. Okay, so we've got our Wisteria. I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze my ink pad. And then I have my shimmer brush, and I'm just gonna pick up some of this shimmer and Wisteria here. Okay, and we are gonna go up here, and there's no right or wrong, however you want to do it. Okay, and I got a little darker spot there, but that's okay because my little birdie is gonna go there and cover that up. And then I'm gonna run my shimmer brush onto a scrap paper to make sure that it's running clear once we are done with that. And you'll want to clean out your, if you got shimmer in your lid here like I did, the water and a water brush won't hurt anything. But if you have shimmer in there, I don't want to turn my ink pad all glittery, although that's not so bad. But I used just a little napkin to clean that out of there. Okay. All right, so now we have that there. We're gonna take our mulberry ink and we're gonna stamp friend. And we wanna keep in mind that this is gonna be tucked under here a little bit. So I'm just thinking about where I'm gonna put it. Okay, so I've got my little friend stamp here. And I'm gonna make sure this is clean. I think it is, it should be. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and ink this up. And I'm just gonna go ahead and look at this here just to kind of get an idea. Okay, so we're just gonna be about right in there, okay. So we're gonna go right about here. Okay, so there is our friend. Clean it with our stamp chamois. And then we have these little lines. I don't know what you'd call them. Take that, and this one's gonna be in the Sundance ink. Okay. And then that is gonna go right here. I create a little bit different when I'm working under camera because I'm trying to make sure I'm under the camera and you're not getting my head in there and all these fun things. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this here. Okay, so we got that. And we will clean it with our stamp chamois. And the next thing is My Dear, which is also on this stamp. Oh, and I see I'm missing a stamp. Uh-oh, how did that happen? Oh no, that's a thin cut. I thought I was missing a stamp, but I am not. Okay. So My Dear, and My Dear is in black. So we're gonna use the intense black because that's what I have here. And that's gonna go ahead and go right over that. And we're gonna clean it with our stamp chamois. Okay, the next is our little birdie. This little birdie is so cute. Okay, and we're gonna set this aside for a second, and we're gonna bring in the little bird. Okay, I'm gonna line him up onto there. Okay, and you remember, hold it for just a second. It allows that to soak into your paper a little bit better. And there's our little birdie, so cute. Okay, and to color our little bird and our little branch here, in the directions, again, they have you use the water brush and the ink pads, but I am going to use the shimmer brush. Okay, and we will start with the Sundance. So really you could make a shimmer brush in any color you wanted by putting them with your ink pads. Okay, and then I'm just going to color my little bird's feathers. Okay, just adding a little color to the bird. And then remember, you want to take your scrap paper and run it clear when you're done, right? Otherwise it'll turn your whole thing yellow. And I guess I could have done my vines. I guess I could have done that. We'll do that now. Okay, we'll do here. And here. And you notice you don't have to color the whole thing. It's just adding a little touch of color that makes so much difference. And remember, then you want to run this clear because it will turn your whole shimmer brush yellow, Sundance, if you don't run it clear before you are done with it. Okay, and then I'm going to clean out my lid just to get that glitter out so it doesn't make my ink pad glittery. Okay, and then we're going to use the mulberry. Give it a good squeeze to get the ink up in your lid. And then I'm going to take here and do the same thing. And here I'm just coloring in this little bit here. So we've added shimmer and color at the same time. And again, run it clear so that you don't discolor your shimmer brush. I just had ink in the lid, I wouldn't worry about cleaning it out, but because it had that shimmer in it, I wanted to remove it out of there. All right, so then the next thing that we are going to do is start assembling our card here. So we have our card base, and I found it easier to put this piece down first. And I see that I've got, when I did my cutting in my thin cut, I must have cut the corner off there, not in the right spot. So I am going to go ahead and use this one, just because it's not cut off on the scallop at the bottom. Okay. And there is no right or wrong. You can do it however you want, which is nice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this piece down. It looks like my card base is not folded quite straight. Okay. Okay. And then you notice I left just enough room so that we can tuck this up under here. Hopefully I left enough room. Okay, and you'll notice that this does not match right here, but when you add in your other pieces, it's gonna cover that, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and tuck this under here, just keeping that same and you could have put this piece down first if you want. I just found it was easier to do. And again, there I go. How I'm telling you, I have trouble putting things straight. Everything is crooked these days. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put that under there like that. Okay, and again, it doesn't matter that that doesn't match up there, because when we put the other pieces on, it will match up. Just love that shimmer. Can you see the shimmer in there? So pretty. Okay. I see that I didn't trim this. Okay. And then our last piece, like that. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so then now we will take our leaves, and I'm going to bring in my all-purpose mat here so I don't have to worry about my adhesive getting everywhere. And then we have some embossing thread again. And you see I put this on my craft jar, and look at how it's taken out the creases already, just that little bit of sitting around my craft jar. Okay, so now I'm going to take here and I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers a few times. Okay. Okay, and I think I decided that I want it wrapped around just 2 fingers instead of 3, so it's a little bit smaller. Okay. I'm not sure if you can hear my dog in the background, but she's having a little doggy dream over there. Juno. Juno. All right, and now we will take, I'm just taking a little pop dot. You could just put some adhesive down, but I know that I'm gonna put pop dots here for my little birdie, so I just stuck a pop dot there to hold it. Okay. And you can play with this and get it how you want if you need to make any adjustments to it. Okay, and then I'm going to put another little pop dot here and one there. All right, and then the last thing we have here is our heart, which I can see is not quite dry yet, so we will give it a little bit of time to dry. And the last thing that we want to do here on this card is to add our heart after the liquid glass has dried to our card. Oh, we got a bubble. And I am just putting a little bit of liquid glass on the back, not too much because I don't want it to squeeze out of the ends. And we will set that there. So here we have our card per the workshop instructions and per the Creative Design Studio Makeover. Super fun and exciting. I hope you guys are enjoying these cards as much as we are.